It's early morning. You step out onto your porch with a cup of coffee, and before the screen door even swings shut, you hear it, the sharp, brief call from the oak tree near your fence line. You look up, and there's a cardinal sitting perfectly still on the same branch it always uses, looking straight down at you. You might think it's just waiting for the feeder to be filled, that it's a creature driven entirely by hunger and instinct, and you're nothing more than the hands that provide the food. But there's a deep, unsettling, and powerful secret about being known by birds in your yard. You probably assume they see you as a blurry, generic shape, a slow moving shadow that means seeds are coming. You were wrong. That is not what is happening. The reality of what's going on behind those dark, bright eyes is far more specific and, frankly, a little unnerving. Welcome back to Why Birds Do That. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe because what you're about to learn will change the way you step outside your door forever. Today, we are going into the sharp intelligence of the flock in your yard and how they perceive you. There are 7 things I want you to understand about the memory of wild birds, and I need you to stay until the end because the last point is the one that people tell me completely changes how they see their own home. Number 1, they see your actual face. When we ask, do birds recognize humans? The assumption is that they recognize our brightly colored coats or our hats. We assume their brains are too small to process the complicated landscape of a human face. But research from the University of Washington has proven that many species, especially corvids like crows and jays, map the exact geometry of human facial features. They don't just see a person, they see you. The way your eyes are set, the shape of your jaw, the specific slope of your nose. When you walk to your mailbox, the bird in the tree isn't just registering movement, it's registering your specific identity. Think about what that means. You're not a stranger in your yard, you are a known entity. They have a file on you. Number 2, the memory lasts for years. It's one thing to be recognized in the moment. It's another entirely to realize that birds remember your face across seasons, across migrations, and even across generations. Researchers at Oxford University found that when a bird learns your face, that data is locked into their neural pathways for a staggering amount of time. Even if you change your hair, even if you put on glasses, even if you wear a heavy winter coat instead of a summer shirt, they know it's you. Crows remember faces so perfectly that they will pass your reputation on to their fledglings. They will literally point you out to their young. You are being discussed by the flock, and they are making a lasting decision about your character. Number 3, the invisible tests they run on you. Before a wild creature decides to let its guard down, it tests you. If you want to know how to get birds to trust you, you have to realize you're being audited every single day. They watch your shoulders, they watch the speed of your walk, they watch where your eyes are looking. One of the clearest signs a bird trusts you is when it turns its back to you while eating at the feeder in your yard. In the wild, turning your back to a larger, unpredictable predator is a death sentence. When a mourning dove or a blue jay lands on the grass and faces away from you, it's making a calculated decision that you are not a threat. That is an earned privilege. It is not an accident. Number 4, the shift in energy. There is a deep, quiet shift that happens when you finally build a connection with wild birds. You stop being a visitor in their territory and you become a neighbor. A retired teacher in Michigan wrote to me last year. She said she had been filling the same feeders for a decade. She knew the birds and the birds knew her. Then one winter she fell on the ice and broke her hip. For 3 weeks, her adult son came over to fill the feeders instead. She told me the birds wouldn't go near him. They waited in the high branches until he went back inside. They knew the rhythm of her walk, the specific sound of her boots on the snow. Her absence registered with them. Your yard is a complex social network, and you are a central part of it. When you aren't there, the entire ecosystem notices. Number 5, the difference between passing through and visiting. Most people don't understand what it means when birds visit you consistently, returning to the exact same perch, staring at the exact same window. This is not blind instinct. This is observation. They are tracking your schedule. If you drink your coffee by the window at 7 in the morning, they know. If you let the dog out at 5 in the evening, they know exactly when the door will open. They have built an entire predictive model of your life. When a cardinal waits for you on the wooden fence, it's because you have proven yourself to be a reliable, safe anchor in a dangerous world. They are syncing their survival to your routine. Number 6, the warning system. Once you are known by birds, they will actively communicate with you, not just to ask for food, but to warn you. Many backyard bird watchers report hearing alarm calls right outside their door, seconds before they step out to find a stray cat or a hawk nearby. The flock knows you are part of the yard's dynamic. When a chickadee or a titmouse gives a high-pitched scold, they are broadcasting danger. If they know you and they trust you, they are including you in that broadcast. They expect you to listen. Number 7, I saved this one for last because it's where the science ends and something much older begins. There is a deep spiritual meaning of birds choosing to bridge the gap between their wild world and our human one. A woman in Oregon told me a story I think about often. She had just lost her husband of 40 years. She said the house felt entirely empty and the silence was deafening. One afternoon, she was sitting on her back porch, crying quietly. A small chickadee flew down from the oak tree and landed on the wooden railing less than 2 feet from her hand. It didn't fly away. It just sat there looking at her for nearly 5 minutes. In that moment, she said the crushing weight of her grief lifted just enough for her to breathe. She felt seen, not by a person, but by the wild world itself. When you experience being chosen by a bird, it strips away the noise of modern life. It forces you to be entirely present. A wild creature with a heart beating 10 times faster than yours, a creature that has to fight for its life every single day, looked at all the places it could be in the world and decided to sit near you. That is not a small thing. Against every other yard in your neighborhood, they came to yours. The birds that visit your yard chose to be there. You are a part of their daily existence, mapped into their memory, understood as a safe harbor in a chaotic sky. Have you ever had a moment like this? Have you ever felt a wild bird recognize you or wait for you or sit with you when you needed it most? Tell me the specific story in the comments. Tell me what species it was. Tell me exactly where you were sitting. I read every one. I'll see you in the next one.